Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time.
When you add a shake of Frank's Red Hot, you open a world of better. A world where wings bring out the flavor of game day any day. Where buffalo chicken dip takes any party up a notch. And where any slice of pizza instantly becomes the world's best slice of pizza. At least until the next slice. Bring every bite to life with the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that shit on everything.
Hey, what's good, guys? Welcome to the Bird Brain Podcast, where the goal is to rise above it all, stay elevated, create that infinity, and up your you. I don't know what I was about to say. I think I almost said happy holidays mixed with a little happy Monday. I think I almost slipped in a happy birthday. And all of it, some of it is true, some of it's not. But yes, how are you guys? I hope you're doing all right out there. Today, it's been a very interesting, introspective into the year. And I learned a lot of things, and I'm learning a lot of things about myself, but also about just life. And, you know, when it comes to the goals that we have set out in the year, sometimes the outcome is different than what we think, but it's not always bad. And we're going to get into that because this is so important. This applies to your relationships. This applies to your practical goals. Your practical glow. This applies to your accomplishments, everything. And we are really going to take a look at how we can see things a little bit different and how we can see ourselves and other people much, much better. So if you're driving, get in the car, but wear your seatbelt. And if you're at home, just sit down, get somewhere comfortable if it's cold, and just receive this in the way that it's being delivered. All right. Because by the end of this episode, you should have a different appreciation for all that you are and the things and people that take up space in your life. All right, stay tuned. What's good, guys? So we're just going to jump right into it. When I set out this year, I said I had a full list of things I wanted to accomplish, a full list. And a lot of them were like not luxury goals, but like high-end goals, right? Like things that I just wanted to do and accomplish. I said I wanted to have a TED Talk. I had said I wanted to work with Tabitha this year. And I also said there were a couple of other things that were on the list that didn't happen. That did not happen. And here we are at the end of December, and I'm not bummed about it, right? One of the goals I said I wanted to reach is I said I wanted to have my podcast in the top podcast for mental health. Well, I got Spotify at the end of the year gives you your rap, right? Your rap number, whatever the case may be. And apparently my podcast is in the top 5% for education in 5 different countries. So it's ranking top 5% in the United States, Germany, Japan. There are 2 other ones I keep forgetting. And hang on, I'm going to just open it for reference because I don't want to not show appreciation to everywhere. So you need it. You need it. I don't know what's up with my words today, guys. So I'm ranking top. I'm ranking in 43 countries, but I'm top 5 in the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Japan, and Germany. So wherever you are, if you are tuning in and you have been tuning in, I want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And you have no idea how much that means to me to know that there are people I don't know, people who don't know me, who tune in to what I have to say. And I'm in the top 5% right now, right? Top 5%, which is kind of crazy. I don't know what that even means. I don't know what that means. But it kind of allowed me to have a different perspective on what goals look like. Even in relationships, there have been some hard moments in some of my deepest relationships. Very hard moments. And, you know, I know cut culture is a thing where it's like, oh, something's not working out, leave. Right? This person's not taking care of you, leave. Right? And to some degree, it may be true, right? Because we may exist in relationships that are very one-sided and we try our best to sustain them or hope that the other person is going to change. And that doesn't happen. The reason why is because we're trying to force a relationship where a relationship doesn't exist. And on the other hand, there may be times where the seasons of people's lives are changing and they're transitioning. And it feels different. It looks different. And it can be scary because oftentimes when the change in the current happens, it's like, oh, okay, I guess this relationship is going south. And when that happens, that's us taking a look at the moment versus all the moments, right? That's us focusing on this one thing that's not going right versus everything that has been so good. You know, so good for us, so good to us. And who you are as a person, right? If you have more confidence in yourself, you'll have a little bit more confidence in the relationships you cultivate and how people will in fact value you. And I'm not saying that everybody you come across is going to appreciate you the way you deserve. I'm not saying that, but I am saying there are certain people in this world who will value you and consistently remind you of that in the best way possible because of who you are. Just like you're willing to care about other people, there will be people that do the same thing. But when it comes to goal setting, right? Sometimes our goals, they always say, yeah, when you're setting goals to get specific, you know, be specific about your goals, envision them, and that's how it is. And that's cool, but sometimes the end goal or the end result doesn't look completely like what we envision. And sometimes that's an amazing thing. It's for the better. It's for the better, right? Because we may limit ourselves, but also we take the human out of the process. It's like a person that says, yeah, I want to drop 40 pounds. It's like, all right, cool. That's your goal. Dope. When is the deadline? By February 2nd. Okay. So this is January 17th. How are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to work out 5 times a day. I'm only going to eat a carrot. I might have a crouton, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose this weight. Not factoring in all the other things that require you, aka you being a person. Something and this is all going to make sense for a reason. So something I realized about me is, people talk about being hopeless romantics or whatever the case may be. I am a romantic in the sense of, sentiment, if that makes sense. So I love the people in my life. I love taking care of the people in my life. I love the little things in life. Those things mean a lot. There are certain things I love and I value and I appreciate, and I kind of romanticize it in a way of like, this is just something that's important to me, right? And just recently, and literally only recently, there was a moment, and it's funny because the moment happened. How do I explain it? The moment happened for me amongst chaos, right? Chaos and me working through a bunch of things. But there's been this level of peace, this essence of peace I have. And the reason being is because I've been forced to take a look at who I am, right? Who I am as a person. I've been forced to take a look at the person in the process of everything that's been going on. And when you look at that person, and then you listen to the things that people say about that person, and you cross-reference, that's a game changer. There's such a level of stillness that comes with acceptance of you and really romanticizing you as a person. Because even your goals, there's room for them to be a little different, to look a little different. In your relationships, there's room for them to be a little different, to look a little different, but still have the same value. The same quality is there. It's still there, but it looks different. And when things look different, that shouldn't always scare us away or make us think that we are doing things wrong or that we're failing, right? Something's not okay because this doesn't look like how I envisioned it. How many times have you had fake conversations in your head, and then when you actually talk to a person or you say the things out loud, the words don't come out, or the conversation is very different? You know why the conversation is very different? Because the person responds in their own way versus how you anticipate it, right? The ideas we have in our head are just us, and they're not being influenced by anything. So like a lot of times that process is skewed. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like if I wake up in the morning and I shower, I brush my teeth. It's like, yeah, I can see myself doing that. I can control that. But am I aware of how many times I blink? Am I aware of how many footsteps I take? How many times I pace back and forth, maybe what my thought process is. Like, am I aware of those things? No. I'm just seeing me brushing my teeth and me showering. That's it. And sometimes when it comes to goals, we don't realize all the life that's happening in between that process that could potentially be influencing what the outcome looks like, right? Even in our relationships, right? We are not taking into consideration what's happening outside of our control. And sometimes we think that we have that much control over how other people feel about us, etc. And that's not the case. People come with a lot of history, as do you. In general, we come with a lot of history. And if you are a solid person, I can't stress this enough. Like, we think sometimes we're so forgettable. Like, oh yeah, this person's going to forget about me. Whatever. I'm not that important. It's like, really? It's probably easier for you to say that. Like, your goal is to be right in terms of like how much you're valued or whatever the case would be. But truth be told is listen, what if that's not true? What if the goal is to exist in relationships that are much healthier, but to exist in those relationships, the goalpost is moved a little bit, or it looks a little bit different. You're not compromised in it. It just looks different. It just looks different, and it feels a little bit different. Right? Sometimes we have blurry vision when it comes to our goals, right? Because we can only see the parts that we can conceptualize and the main parts. And when we don't reach those goals, or those goals don't turn out the way that we thought that they would or should, we think we failed. And that's not it. That is not it. That's not it at all. You have to give yourself the space and permission to have goals be a little bit more flexible, to have goals be a little bit more realistic and attainable, right? And to have goals that fit who you are versus the narrative that you think you have to live up to because of somebody else's expectations, or what societal standards are for A, B, and C, and, you know, what your ego says you have to have and do. Because once you kind of remove all of that, you get to love the person that you are. And this is for the people that are, you know, you're a perfectionist, you have imposter syndrome, you know, you have all these things that limit your ability to recognize and value you. Right? Acceptance is a beautiful thing. Not tolerance, but acceptance. Acceptance of what is goes a long way. And it's such a beautiful, that's what I'm looking for. It's such a beautiful sense of peace that you receive and deserve. Because I allow my goals to look different. And I allow my journey to be involved in the process versus somebody else's journey, right? It's like, oh, I want to do these things, whatever. All right, cool. But does that look realistic for you? Right? Me wanting to work with Tabitha, it's like, it's possible. But what does that look like? I don't really know yet. I just kind of said, you know, this is what I wanted to do. And that's it. And I can still have that right now. And while I have that as a goal, I still don't know what that fully looks like. I can continue to do my other things, right? I still aim to be one of the top mental health podcasts. But in the meantime, I'm in the top 5%. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. And I haven't really done anything different. I've been consistently me. I've consistently showed up, you know, to the best of my ability. And even on days that I was unsure, I still made it a point to be present. Fear forward, right? You can't fail. And things only get better. And I know there's like a fear of like, well, what if I'm not doing this right? And what if I'm just wasting my time? That happens too. Right? But you'll know. You'll feel it. And life, funny enough, when you are doing what you're supposed to do, you just kind of keep attracting the same thing. Right? Things just kind of happen. And I know it sounds like whatever, but I can honestly promise you, right? Working in the mental health field, but also like entertainment and all these things just kind of happen. And you're more open to things happening when you learn how much you deserve as a person. And not necessarily from other people, but just in life, just by existing, just by who you are, how much impact you have, how much you matter. Like once you kind of recognize all of that, it's a game changer. Okay? Be a little bit more of a romantic, right? Love isn't necessarily linear. It's just consistent. And when you learn to like love yourself a little bit more. Love your process. Love your challenges. Love the things that you've overcome, right? Love the little things in life. Once you start becoming more of a romantic in life, you can love all the parts of you. You can love other people properly, right? You can allow yourself to be loved by other people properly. You can recognize love properly. You can love, your process. Everything that deserves your love and everything that you deserve love from has a little bit more room to just exist and hang out. And that's kind of where I am. So, recognize that sometimes when you have goals, it's blurry vision, right? You're not seeing the whole picture. You're not seeing how many times you blink. You're not seeing how many steps you take. You're not seeing those down moments, You're just seeing the goal. And it's good, have a goal in mind, but also have room for the goal to be what's for you versus what you think it should look like to be approved or validated by somebody else. Okay? Because you're going to do your thing. You're going to show up. You're going to do what you're supposed to do. But give yourself space and permission to do you. All right? That's all I got. I hope that made sense to you guys. And I hope it helps. You matter in this world more than you think. And you impact people more than you realize. That's something that's been told to me multiple times recently. And that's just something I have to deal with. That's a responsibility I have to really accept because it's not going anywhere. So own it. You matter more than you think. And if you think that you don't deserve, you think that you don't matter, you think you have this fear of rejection, or you think that people don't love you, where's the proof? And like I said in a video of mine, look for proof of that. Where's the truth in that? And the only rule is you're not allowed to use people who mishandled you, people who could not show up for you, and people who don't value you. Those are not reference points of truth or proof. Those are just reflections of those people. So where's the proof that you don't deserve good, that you are not a quality person, and that you are not valued? Find the proof in that. All right. I hope you guys have an amazing week. If you like this podcast, again, keep sharing, keep rating it. It's a beautiful thing and it matters and it obviously helps. So thank you guys who have taken the time to leave the reviews, to share this podcast, to do what you do. It means so damn much. It's so cool. Yeah, thank you. People have asked about the merch. There's merch. The Bird Brain merch is on the store. The link is in the description of this episode. Also, mental health coaching. It's all virtual. We chat for an hour, give you some work to do, and we go from there. But it's work, and it's you recognizing that you deserve that effort. So if you want to sign up for coaching, the link is also in the description of this episode. And I think that's it. In the meantime, just take care of yourselves, all right? Take care of each other and take flight.